Hi, I'm Will.
And I'm Josh.
And we are the band My Good Man William. And we play quite an eclectic mix of music, sort of pop, folk, rock, probably alternative. Somewhere in there you'll find us. And we formed as a band. We started playing together about 6 years ago.
Probably.
And the band has changed slightly over that time. The lineup's changed, but Josh and I have been the core through those sort of 6 years, and we've just released our debut album, so very excited about that. So for our new album, The Far Country, we undertook a sort of crowdfunding campaign, and we used a website which a friend of mine who's a musician had set up called backer.org, and he set it up because Kickstarter and various other ones charge quite a lot of commission for raising money for your project, so he wanted to charge less, being a musician himself. So he said, could we use his website and he would charge us nothing. So we did that, and we tried to be fairly realistic with the target that we set, and we didn't want to overstretch. So we understretched. So we understretched slightly, which probably in hindsight we should have stretched a bit more. But yeah, we raised about £5,500,
yeah,
which on the face of it seems like a lot of money, but once you pay for studio time and producer and getting your songs mixed and mastered and CDs and vinyl printed, and musicians, because
and artwork,
we're not the best lap steel players in the world, so so all those things contribute. But we just really pushed the backer stuff. We spent a lot of time aiming it at the people that we thought would perhaps contribute, and made the rewards really easy for people to get involved with for a fairly small amount of money. So then you have people giving from £5-10 up to, I think the biggest gift was £1,500, and we did a show for that one. Yeah. So, and that was really, really helpful to have that money up front, so that we could take on this project.
I think as musicians and creatives, it's becoming increasingly hard to get paid for anything or to have any finances to do what you want to do with. So right at the beginning, before we'd done the album, I think it was 3 days before we actually started recording, we got the money through from backer, which was very, very helpful. But as Will said, there's just so many things that actually cost in the process of trying to create, that if I was to give any advice, it's just go slightly higher than you think, because things take more time and more money than you could ever imagine. And also for us, one thing that we didn't leave any room for was promotion and PR at the end of the process. So I think we were product focused, looking at getting the album done, and I don't think that we necessarily thought, who's going to help us to promote this at the other end. And I'm just a musician. I actually thought that I knew what I was doing with the end result, and I think I really struggled with that. So I think it would be really good when you go into this to think, what happens once you've made your product? Because it's not just going to fly off shelves. You have to work for it. And I felt like that's something that we really learned from the project, is to be a little bit further sighted. I think that it's quite important to remember that at any stage of being an artist, I mean, we are by no means a massive world-selling act yet, hopefully. But there's never too early to start, because actually the people that are going to be contributing are your friends and your family to start off with. There probably weren't that many people who had never heard of us that were going to be pledging money to hear our album or to hear our music, because they didn't know about us. But friends and pestering your family and all of that really does help, and it's kind of humbling to know that you are reliant on the people around you, people that love you. And
also to remember that music is about community. So if you can create a community within the band, then that's great. But bigger than that, we always had the vision of trying to create a community through music for people to sort of buy into. Fans, people who weren't necessarily musicians themselves, that they could feel like they could take some ownership of the band and the project, that they were part of the creative process. So if you have that buy-in from your fans, that they feel like they're sort of invested into you, like regardless of money and trying to raise money online, if they already feel like you've involved them into the life of the band, then when a Kickstarter or a backer campaign comes around, they're that much more likely to maybe reach into their pockets and contribute financially.
So to get people to follow us, support us, and to buy into our music, we quite often just had people come and join us musically. So we've got some people who we pretty much met through the band, just asking them to come and sing with us at a gig, even just one song or a little phrase or something. Even back in the early days when we were doing covers, just getting people to come along and play with us helped everyone to start feeling like they were part of it, and build a support network, really.
I think also, even people who weren't perhaps that musical, we would, try and get people involved when they come to gigs, clapping, those sort of things, to sort of get them involved into the music. And then
Artwork.
Yeah, artwork, ideas. And I think we've always been quite open with what we're working on. We haven't always just kept everything like really, really hidden away until we've got the perfect product to put out there. You sort of, through social media, you can give little snippets and inside information, and people don't necessarily want to see everything perfect and crisp and clean all the time. I think it's okay to show that it's a work in progress. Some people might think that loses some of the magic, but I think if people feel like they know the origins of a song, if you're writing, I'm trying to write a song every week this year, and some of those songs will be 30 seconds long, and some will turn into full songs and maybe will go on albums in the future. But if I help share those things on social media, those little song ideas, if they then develop into a song that goes onto an album in 3-4 years time, then people will feel like they know that they were part of that process, that creative process. They're, I remember that little fledgling of a song that Will shared on Instagram, and here it is, full production on an album.